Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
Hafa and welcome to another episode of Cruising with KUAM. Joining Isa Baza and sitting in the passenger seat is Guam Homeland Security Advisor George Charfauros.
Hafa Mr. Charfauros.
Hafa.
Thank you for joining us for Cruising with KUAM.
Oh, my pleasure.
So today we're going to have a lot of hard questions about a serious topic.
Okay.
Just joking. This will just be kind of an overview. So as a Homeland Security Advisor, you've been in the spotlight recently with the regional tensions between North Korea and the United States. And so, tell us a little bit about your experience over the past month.
Well, I was appointed to the position back in April 10th, 2017, and I distinctly remember I went to see the governor and my chief of staff, my two bosses, and headed back to homeland. And as soon as I walked in, Jenna Gamindi, Jenna Blas now, said, "Sir, we have a media interview." First day on the job until now, it's all been, unfortunately, almost all of it was North Korea.
It's true, you just recently started as Homeland Security. When did you start?
April 10th of this year. But I've been doing this kind of sort of work for a while when I was in the military, but a different uniform.
Mm-hmm. So what branch were you in and how long were you in the military?
I was in the U.S. Army. I was a commissioned officer, retired as a colonel. But prior to that, I enlisted in the Marines when I was a younger man.
Wow. Marines.
Yeah, I did about 6 years of that, and then got out, came back home, went to college, went to Army ROTC, and then stayed here. Did some time in the Army Reserve, and then I transferred over to the Army Guard and worked my way up. A large part of the last almost 9 years of my career was spent in what is called domestic operations. Mm-hmm. What that means is the military is working with the local government,
mm-hmm.
With respect to responding to the governor's call for help or assistance in a variety of things, mostly disasters.
So this is nothing new to you then? You've been
It's not.
here.
It's a different flavor because there's added almost, I would call it a political dimension to it. When I was in the military, we responded to the governor, and that response was, we knew what our left and right limits. That's what they call it in the military. But with this, you have to factor in a whole bunch of things, especially with civilians. You can't just stay in your comfort zone. You have to look at all factors.
And definitely all eyes were kind of on Guam Homeland Security and the U.S. military, especially in August of this year.
Yeah, it's it's part of the job. Some days it's quiet, really boring, and some days it's really hectic. Mm-hmm. But I feel that I'm very fortunate that I got the education from both public. I was in public school for a while, and then I went to Father Duenas for a while. And then of course I went to the military. I got a bunch of education there, and also university. So all that put together, and all the experience I had, I'm very grateful that it actually prepared me for something like this. So, to all those out there who put up with me during those times and my questions and all that stuff, thank you.
Well, I have to say it was really reassuring to have you as a Homeland Security Advisor during what was happening with all the tensions that were going on globally and in the region, because you were very reassuring, especially when tensions reached a fever pitch in August and we had all the international media come to Guam. We were making headlines across the world, really, and I think that there were a lot of people who were worried, who were concerned, but you always had that voice of calm and reassurance. So, what makes you so calm and so confident in Guam's safety?
A large part of it is brought about by understanding our partners, the federal government and in the military and their capabilities, and those guys are very much, I spent 37 years in the military, and I know what they go through, the readiness that they have to always hold up to. So, that it wasn't me. I understood the dynamics of the whole situation, and a large part of my job is, giving advice to the governor or the leadership of the government, and working with our military and federal partners, and I have full faith and confidence in all of those folks, and my job is to provide as much calm and reassurance to the public as much as it's to ensure the security of our island and our neighbors up north.
Mm-hmm.
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
So it just so happens that September is National Preparedness Month. So what can you tell us about what's going to be going on in light of National Preparedness Month?
Well, National Preparedness Month, September is National Preparedness Month. It's a federal government initiative that we participate in locally. When I have a proclamation signed by the Lieutenant Governor the first week of September on that. There's various activities planned, but the gist of it is, NPM, or National Preparedness Month, started because of 9/11, and that was a big lesson learned for us in terms of preparedness. But there's other things, like hurricanes. And Hurricane Harvey, unfortunately, my heart goes out to the people of Texas and Louisiana and all those folks over there, working through that disaster. So September is the time to make sure that our plans are in place, not just at the government level, but also at the family and the community level. Make your plan, make a family communications plan, kind of work through that, exercise it yourself, and then build a kit.
A preparedness kit?
Yeah, readiness kit. You can use that kit for, not just ballistic missile threats, which I foresee never happening to us, but also for like typhoons or any other disaster, because you never know. An earthquake, and knock on wood, can happen just about any time, just unannounced, just like a ballistic missile threat. So.
And I think one thing that really hit home with me when we were going through this kind of scare with North Korea was that your office was saying that we're more likely to be hit with an earthquake or a typhoon, which are the real concerns in our region.
Yeah, in fact, our top three threats, as in our analysis with respect to funding those, the response and recovery, or planning for those, this ballistic missile threat is not even in our top six. Typhoons, earthquakes, tsunamis, improvised explosive devices, cyber security, a big threat to our island. Those are the top threats that we always look at. And
you've mentioned that some of these topics that you just brought up, cybersecurity and other things, you've mentioned these as some of your priorities, as things you want to accomplish or improve during your time as Guam's Homeland Security Advisor. So
yeah, the top three is illicit drugs. We're addressing that through the GPD's task force, Matanya. We're addressing that. We need to do more, and I'm working with the leadership on that all around. Illicit drugs. The second one is cybersecurity. That one is you don't see it, so you don't worry about it, but it's a big thing. And you almost see it on a weekly, monthly basis whenever there's a virus that comes around, either through email or social media. That, and then the transnational criminal organizations, TCOs as we call them. The TCOs, those criminal organizations, and the illicit drugs are tied together, and not a good mix, not a good combination for our island. So keeping those away from us, keeping them from entering our borders. The physical part is a difficult task. There's a point where we need more law enforcement folks and peace officers to help out, but that costs a lot of money, so we have to balance that out.
So I think it's interesting that you mentioned transnational criminal organizations and illegal drugs. I know that drugs pose an issue or are a big problem in Guam, but is there also a big problem with transnational criminal organizations?
Yeah, you don't see these folks. They're part of the issue with illicit drugs, and that's how they make their money. Is pushing drugs, and then also human trafficking is a big part of their revenue. That, illicit drugs, other bad stuff. You can look into, just go online and find out what they do.
So does Guam Homeland Security help to monitor these issues?
Yes. We have what we call a fusion cell, or center. Those are comprised of liaison officers from law enforcement, local law enforcement, such as the police department, the fire department, corrections, everybody that has a law enforcement or a peace enforcement function. So those folks come and work at Homeland Security, and they monitor intelligence, either through open source or closed sources, and then they do analysis on it and provide those recommendations to me, to other leaders throughout the government. So we take that analysis and information and use it in our decision making.
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
Okay, and I'm also kind of curious about cybersecurity because, you know, everyone uses the internet, everyone uses, they go online with their phones, they go online with their tablets. Everything is kind of connected. Sometimes even your car is connected, but a lot of people still don't really realize the implications of cybersecurity and the types of cyber threats out there. So what are the types of cyber threats that could affect Guam or the people of Guam?
There are two basic classifications. One is the lone hacker, the guy who's, you know, sitting in his basement all by himself, you know, trying to get into it. It's a challenge for that hacker or hackers. So that guy's just operating on his own. That's or guys, you know, group of them. And then of course there's the cyber threats that are coming from a sovereign nation that will use cyber to attack you instead of a missile or something kinetic. You know, anything that has an electrical connection can be hacked into and then, you know, manipulated. So say you're on the grid, you access the grid for power, your electrical system. You access that, you shut it down. It's almost the same effect as you know, a ballistic missile attack. Effectively shut down the services to the community.
So it could
or
shut
down the water plant, everything that's connected to the grid. So you have to protect that grid almost at any cost. And these folks, the hackers and the state sponsored ones, are very smart. They're, you know, nerds. That's what they do. They know how to do this stuff. They can go in there and damage you just as much as a ballistic missile can.
Okay. I like how you mentioned state-sponsored cybersecurity because that's something that also has made the spotlight, especially with the U.S. presidential election. There are concerns over whether or not Russia may have been hacking and trying to influence the election. And then also with North Korea, we also know that they've made headlines for state-sponsored hacking.
Yeah.
And so what do you think Guam can do to better improve its cybersecurity?
The best way is to start at the individual level. Make sure your password is to the computer or your phone. You know, it's hard to hack into. You know, password 1, capital P, password, and then the letter or the number 1. That's the default password for a lot of computer systems, and you need to go in there and change that and make it a bit more complicated.
Isa 1 2 3 4 5. So
whatever it is. Don't use your name. Don't use your, you know, use something else that you can.
Don't use your name, your husband's name,
yeah,
your kid's name.
Your birthday, something like that. That, you know, use something that make it a challenge for that hacker to get into.
And of course,
yeah, he'll probably get it within, you know, 4 or 5 days of trying, but at least, you know, he didn't get it on the first try. So, you know, make it hard to get into the system, your system. Because once you make it hard, everybody makes it hard. Everybody contributes together to make it hard for these hackers to get into. You know, it's better than, you know, only one person making it hard. If everybody made it hard, it would be harder to breach the cyber defenses. So stuff like that, and just, you know, make sure you have an antivirus. Don't download stuff that looks, smells, and
if you get an email from a prince
yeah,
asking you for money,
yeah, if it looks funny, smells funny, or even tastes funny, you know, don't click on that link. Best thing to do is contact Homeland Security. We have folks in there that can trace that thing back and find out, you know, the real source. So if you're not sure, don't click on it. You know, like a recent one that was going around was the WhatsApp color background.
And what was that one? I didn't see it.
Yeah, there was something going on. Fortunately, some folks were smart enough not to click on the link, but it was just a nuisance malware.
Oh, and it would go into your phone?
Yeah, it will go into your phone. You click on the thing, it says, you know, change the color of your WhatsApp background. Then you click on it, and it comes back and says, hey, you just messed up. There's another link. So, you know, stuff like that. Don't make it hard for people to get into your system. Not only your phone or your computer, but
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
Okay, so a lot of preparation on both sides, government of Guam and all the individual families throughout the community. But you know, being Homeland Security Advisor must be kind of a stressful job. How do you cope with all this stress?
Once in a while I go to the gym. Well, not once in a while, almost every day. I do, you know, physical fitness. That takes away some of the stress.
He's being humble. He's the head coach.
Yeah, I'm not gonna advertise. Okay, so I'm doing CrossFit. That was my physical training regime for almost 10 years. Been doing that since back when I was underground. Now it's mainstream.
Yeah, everyone's doing CrossFit nowadays. I've even tried CrossFit. I didn't stick with it, but I tried it, so. I'm also a CrossFitter. At least I was for a week. Yeah.
Well, I've been doing it. It's you know, it's been doing it for a while, almost 10 years now. Do that. So once in a while, I'll get on the mats and do some jiu-jitsu, swimming. I love swimming because I'm from Malesso, so I'll go down there. I need to smell the water and get immersed in the ocean water. Reinvigorates me to get baptized again.
Yeah, my family's also from Malesso. Actually, it's my uncle.
Yep.
So how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
When I was in the Army, I started out in the Army. It was called combatives. So that was how I got introduced to it. I just started training on my own with one of my dedicated partners, Chris Washida. How you doing, brother? Thanks for rolling with me. So we roll. In fact, we just finished this morning. You know, doing it on my own. I'm gonna be a white belt forever, so I have no plans to go beyond that.
That's good. So any advice for, you know, maybe young people, students in Guam, maybe they're going to the University of Guam, Guam Community College, and they're thinking of a possible career in intelligence or military?
Yeah,
what would you tell them?
I would do the STEM thing. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. We need nothing against the other majors or anything like that, but Guam definitely needs folks, a whole bunch of folks in STEM. It's not that hard. If a guy like me can understand rocket science, explain rocket science to the general public, you can. Go for it. But that doesn't mean, you know, you should go and get a college degree. Hey, if you want to go get a trade, you know, you want to be a carpenter, you want to be a mason, plumber, whatever, go get a trade. That's as good as a college degree. So, yeah, help your community out. Find a job that you can help out with.
All right, well, thanks so much, Mr. Charfauros. It was a pleasure driving you.
Thank you, Isa.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
All right, bye.